I'm going to go sit over here. I wanted to do something a little bit different for chapel this week and wanted to focus on music. Music's been a really important part of my life growing up. I'm curious, when at formal dinner one time I asked this would you rather question. There's a would you rather never be able to watch TV again or never be able to listen to music again? Raise your hand if you would choose getting rid of music. Okay. Raise your hand if you do TV over music. Okay. I'm not surprised. I think, okay, to make this look better. I'm not surprised because music plays a huge role in, I think, in everyone's lives. It can often help us express things that are more difficult to express than just in words. And I also think the music that you listen to, the music that you perform, the music that you maybe even compose or create is a really interesting window into who you are, at least at any given point in time. So what we're going to do today is I invited a number of people to share with us songs that mean something to them. And I'm just going to not talk a whole lot, but mention that one of the things that music has done for me is sort of connect me to experiences that I always want to keep in mind and keep remembering. So you probably all remember that I've talked a lot about my avid love for Star Wars, which I'm very excited in like next month and a half or so to see the new movie with my kids. We got tickets for opening night. But when I think about things like seeing a movie like that when I was 5 years old and listening to the music was a huge part of it for me, not just the sort of fanfare one that I played during convocation. There's a small theme like from that some of you who are big Star Wars fans might know. It goes like this. It goes on and on and on. I love listening to that because now I feel a little like I'm on a cruise ship. But I love listening to that because it reminds me of those times and also connects me now with my kids who talk about the music and like playing the music in ways like that. There's songs that sort of bring us back to moments, like pivotal moments in our lives that we also just want to remember and people connected to it. And it was funny, someone maybe a couple days back asked if everyone who likes The Lion King, which by the way, who doesn't like The Lion King? But there's a song that you probably all know too, and I'll just throw some of this out there because it's one of those important ones to me. And my wife and I danced to that song when we got married at Disney World. That was shameful. And it connects me to her and to my marriage and to that moment. I also know that music can be great for us, not just in joyful times, but when we're not having the greatest times in our lives. And sometimes, whether it's a song that just keeps you going or reminds you of people. We've all had losses in our lives. I had a loss not long ago of a former student of mine who died of a drug overdose. We had a really close relationship, and I remember years back he bugged me on and on and on to go see the Lord of the Rings movies, which they're great movies, but they're really long. And he wanted to see a midnight showing of a Lord of the Rings movie, which basically gets you home around 4:30 in the morning. But we did it, and for the longest time after that, he bought the CD. This was a little while ago, as opposed to on the iPad or iPod. And it's when he passed away earlier this year, there were like musical motifs from that song that I just sort of kind of listen to as often as I want to now, just to sort of pull me back to those times and who he was. I don't know, anyone here Lord of the Rings fans? Sort of. I don't know if you recognize this stuff. for me, it's just helpful to have that because that's a connection now to this person in a different kind of way than just sort of thinking and reading and all that kind of stuff. And there's a point in my life when I got to high school and college where I didn't want to be just a listener and consumer of music and wanted to compose and make things up because I had seen and heard all these great songs. And I spent some time in Oxford when I was in college, and I remember sitting in this really old, like super old, hundreds of year old practice room that was kind of dingy and dark, and it was very late at night. And I was like, I'm going to come up with my own songs. I'm going to write a play. And there were, anyone here compose music at all? Anyone? All right, a little bit. Some people, if you're a composer of music, you go through both the frustrating and awesome experience of what it's like. The frustrating part is that you figure out this awesome melody and you're really excited about it, and then you realize, yeah, that was like a U2 song. Or something like you've heard before on the radio and you're like, oh, that's really not mine. But the great part is when you actually compose something and it actually is a song and it's actually yours. I remember one evening, a couple evenings where I was working on trying to figure that out. I've done a lot of volunteer work in Oxford, working with kids, and helping them out, and trying to sort of be inspired by this place, inspired by the kids I work with. So I came up with a song and came up with eventually 20 or so songs and got to produce that play before I graduated from college, which was awesome. My two great friends here, Tiffany and Jenna, were kind enough to have me take the audio tapes from 1994 out of the mothballs, figure out how to put it on my iPhone, and maybe sing one of the songs that I wrote. They make it sound so much better than it actually is, which is very cool. And so we're going to go ahead and play that song. songs that matter to them and a little bit why, and we tried to figure out a way to do it on stage without taking too much time. And came up with an awesome idea that Ms. Schiller, Emma Hastings, and Meg Grant were so incredibly helpful on doing for me. So we have a video with a number of members of our community, mostly faculty, and then a student who are going to share a little bit about the music that means something to them.
So I picked Dreams by the Cranberries as a song that is near and dear to my heart. It was released in 1993, so I was about 8 years old at the time, and basically since I heard it from the first moment on the radio, I have absolutely loved this song. Anytime I hear it in a store or on the radio or at a friend's house, I will stop what I'm doing and sing along because I absolutely love the beat and the vocals and the general melody of it. And I think that because of loving all three parts of that is what makes the song so great to me. You know, it starts out saying, all my life is changing every day in every possible way. And it's something that every time I hear it, I always remember how your life can be influenced by different things, and you never know what will happen, but it's always interesting and keeps you on your toes.
The song I chose is Winter Song by a band called Lindisfarne, who were really popular in the UK in the 70s. Well, really popular. They weren't really popular. They were really popular with me. The song bridges several phases of my life. I came across it and Lindisfarne when I was a teenager in high school. When I met my wife, we were working in Botswana. Winter Song sort of was there for us. And one of the things that really appeals to me, I love folk music, but this is folk rock, and it's a sort of song of social consciousness. And if you listen to the lyrics, it has a great deal of meaning.
When winter's shadowy fingers first pursue you down the street, and your boots no longer lie about.
This song for me is extremely powerful. It is inspirational and motivational. It is something that reigns deep within me when I'm working out and I need a little push, or when I'm thinking about how mistakes I've made and life's journeys and how I have to figure everything out. Just the lyrics themselves, if you listen to them, they tell you it's going to be okay. Everything gets figured out.
This song in specific is very special to me because I took a sample from the a cappella version of Rock With You by Michael Jackson, which is one of my favorite songs by him and one of my favorite songs of all time. And I took it, I used the vocals, and I built a beat around it. And it's just very special to me because Michael Jackson was my idol when it comes to my music, or how I wanted to impact the world, or how I used to dance. It's just everything I used to do had to do with Michael Jackson. And so now it's really great for me to have his legacy live through me, because I truly do inspire to heal the world like he tried to, and to heal the world like he did. See, it's true, I got dreams bigger than XXL. Wasn't really looking for trouble when I doubled my sales. Almost on the hunt for the deal. Ain't no front cause it's real. Hustling, but whenever the summer and y'all bundling frio. I got electric and gas. So you know me the well, I'm in the trash of the dad.
Yeah, so people often ask how I ended up being a Latin teacher, and I'm not really sure I know myself, but the beginning of it has to be that when my brother and I were kids, our dad would sit on the top of the stairs in between our bedrooms, and he would read us stories, like every other dad. But our stories were about the Iliad and the Odyssey. He would just read us bits out of the book. So instead of, Spot running and Jane catching Spot, we had Achilles killing Hector before the walls of Troy, and Odysseus blinding the Cyclops with a big sharpened stick, which, may have actually explained a lot about how I turned out as a human being. But after he was done reading, he would put the book away and take his guitar out, and he would sing us the lullaby. And this song is one of those lullabies that he would sing us. And as I've gotten older, and in theory smarter, and certainly taller at least. My music taste has changed, but it's still one of those songs that anytime I really am feeling down or feeling blue or feeling lonely, just having one of those days where life just keeps kicking you in the ribs repeatedly, I can put this on and I can go back to being a little kid wrapped up in a blanket listening to my dad sing to me and know that whatever else is going wrong in the world, I'm still loved.
That the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago. And if I had a thing to give you, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning toward the morning.
Was watching Emily and Sana sing At Last on stage and blew us all away. It was so impressive. And I talked to her about music for a while since we've been here together, and I asked her if she would share with us, with some of her friends, a song that matters to her. So I'm going to invite Emily and friends to the stage. Oh, Kelly!
We're going to play for you Pachelbel's Canon in D, and it's a piece that I've been playing for 9 years. I've built so many friendships playing this song with different people, and I'm really excited to play it with many friends here. So I hope you enjoy it.
before we end up with the last part of this, first of all, thank you to everyone who's performed. One of the things that's great about music is that it can be a shared experience, and I think Emily hit it right on the head when she talked about the friendships she made. You may all be wondering why you have a blue sticky with you, and what I'm trying to do with that. So here, what it is, as we have the last sort of video to end things up, if you were so inclined, I'd really appreciate it if you wrote the name of the song that means something to you, and put your name on the back of it. And as you leave the theater, upstairs and downstairs, there's whiteboards up there. Just throw your sticky up there, because I would love to get a better sense of what sort of our collective playlist looks like in November 2015. So if you're willing to do that and take it seriously, put the name of the song and your name on the back. If you really feel like you can't put your name on the back, that's okay too. To end things up, Mr. Trish and students from his photo classes were kind enough to put something together. I said, here's a song that reminds me of, I think, a lot of what we do here at Blair, which is focusing on friendship and fellowship. And I asked them to take pictures of what friendship looks like to them. And so they've gone ahead and done that, and I think we're going to roll that and then be done. So rest.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. That's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh. You can count on me 'cause I can count on you.
Thank you, our traveling minstrel Chris Matone, who's playing along with that. Go ahead and share songs and share stories and do all those things, because that's how we get to know each other. Please feel free to leave those stickies on those whiteboards. Seniors first.